Hey, how's it going, guys? Just gonna hit it up with another video. I just recently talked to one of the guys I was talking to while in the delayed entry program as a future sailor, and he was coming with a lot of concerns on not being scared of joining, possibly not getting the job that he wanted, and uh, there's a lot to do with it. He didn't like the recruiter he was dealing with. There's that. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is um, getting into the military. Not everybody can get in the military, obviously. They put us. We have to take a test and we have to take a physical. Their physical, not something you go to a doctor for like baseball. This is their physical, where there's a lot more steps to it. But uh, this individual, he had already gone in and taken his asvab and scored it low the first time, and then a year later he came back and scored again and made scored high enough to make it in, but not above the 50 range that they are generally looking for in the Navy, of which that's what I'm doing. But it didn't matter which branch he was going into. You have to score over. There's a minimum score you have to score over just to get in that branch on the AFQT portion of the test, which all that score is a combined score of the math, the English, and this uh, math, English, and more math. So yeah, you got two maths and a reading and a writing. So those four come together and they make an AFQT score that's calculated. And all you have that score has to come up over a certain point just for you to make it into a specific branch. Army is the lowest, Navy is the highest. So that just says what it says for that, but which is a little odd because the certain jobs you don't need to hit as high as a score in the Navy as you do in the Army, but that's something we can get into later. But with this individual, he was first tried with the Marine Corps, and he wasn't quite sure or ready to go yet. So he come out, and then he started looking into the Navy and the Army. And I asked him what he was looking for. He was looking for a job, and he was looking through them all, and he kind of wanted to do a job where he was kind of got to deal more directly with people and desk work. So he didn't want a job that was as physically full of labor. So he went through and we talked about it, and I said, okay, so find a job that you like. That's first thing is before you pick the branch, try to find a job that you would like to get. After you get your scores, you can look it over, and then but you have to take the test with a branch. So you do that, and then you look through those and say, okay, this is the job. So if you leave MEPS that day, you can come back. You don't have to pick a job that day. They usually want you to because that's their job is to get you to enlist in their branch. No matter which branch you go to take the test with, that's their job. You got to remember, it's nothing personal. When they push you, when they're using all the sales tactics to get you to sign up for a specific job in that branch, it's not necessarily anything against you. It's not personal. It's a job. They're told that they have to meet this because it's not that they get paid more if you get a job that they convince you to sign. They don't get a commission that way. They are basically told this is how many people you have to get in, and these are jobs you have to fill. And if you get to fill all those jobs with the right number of people by the end of the year, then you get an award or you get acknowledged in a certain way. So it's a job to them. So you have to go and deal with that job, and to push that uh, into the next level, you have to basically know the job you want, then pick the branch. What's the branch going to do for you? Remember, the Navy's going to give you a lot of stuff, and the Navy, once you're in, the Navy, the Army, the Marines are all going to say, what can you do for us? That's their job. But before you go in, it's what can they do for you? So, like me, I went into the Navy because they had a job that I really, really liked. It wasn't the one that I originally went with, but I didn't want to wait even longer. I would have ended up waiting almost a year to get into the job I was originally wanting. And I didn't want to wait that long. So I went with one that was different, that came pretty close to something I could do. Um, and this guy was kind of looking at the same thing. They're giving him different jobs. I told the Navy no to 3 different jobs before they finally handed me the job I took. And I ended up having to wait 8 months rather than a year. And he's looking for it, and the job he wants, he's probably going to end up having to wait a long time because it's full. So remember, keep that in mind too. A full job, you have to wait longer, where one that's not so full, you get to leave sooner. So those are things that you guys want to keep in mind. And he's been trying to keep up on his fitness, lower his weight, so he looks good when he takes his physical again, because it's been over a year. You go back, you have to take a physical again. And the recruiter he was dealing with, when he talked to this recruiter, the recruiter told him, basically, if you don't sign up today, you can't come back, and kind of gave him this fear factor. Remember, it's their job; they're trying to do whatever they can to get you to sign up. He said no and walked away. And then I met him and told him, hey, no, that's her job, and the only way to get in the military is through a recruiter, and they're your gateway. They're your gateway. They're the keys to the gate. You have to freaking go through them just to get to the next step. So you deal with that. You get through it all, and then by doing that, you get to do it. But if there's a specific job you want, if there's anything you want, you push for it. If they say it's not available, there's no such thing as not available. You just have to wait even longer. But keep your options open. Ask questions. You walk into the room, it meps. That's not the medic side, but where the HQ is, headquarters for that branch, and that's where they're going to sign up for your job. Start asking. There's going to be writings on a freaking whiteboard. Ask what all those names are for, or what all those symbols are for. That sort of stuff. Start asking questions, like how often. You're going to start asking your questions. That's when you get to start asking your questions. They hand you a job, start asking questions about that job. Now, they will hand you a phone of somebody who has done that job in that branch, and that person will try to sell you on that job. But you're going to have to ask key questions to get the information you want. And that's what I told this guy. I said, hey, just stick in it, keep pushing, everything else. He had a bit of an issue with his eyes, so he has to go back and get those reevaluated. So he's got to deal with that. But if he keeps pushing the issue, he'll get in, and he'll get the job he wants. But he has to stick to his guns, and he's basically a thorn in their side. When they try to push him away, he's basically got to go back in there and say, no, I really want, this is the job I want, and I don't want anything else, and you're not going to be able to turn me away because I qualify. If you qualify, there's no way that they can freaking really turn you away. They can come up with every reason in the world to turn you away, but if you qualify, you qualify. At some point in time, just to make their numbers look a little bit better, they're going to get you in, because even if you don't take one of the open jobs, you're still another body in the freaking military, so they will take you. But if you don't qualify for medical, or you ended up with your scores were too low, obviously those things you can't get around. You end up with an issue with the law. You deal with the freaking law in any sort of way. You get it pulled over by a cop, you get a DUI, you basically domestic violence, anything that involves the police, you're automatically out. They do not want anybody who's a criminal going in the military right now. So you have to be extremely careful for that. So after you get into the DEP program, you have to keep your nose clean as possible, basically straight edge. If you're used to being rebellious, that's the time to stop being rebellious. So this video has gone on a little longer than most videos I think guys put on. So thank you for listening, taking your time, and just keep pushing, guys. Anybody who wants to get in the military, I understand. Let's go. If you like this video, leave your comments down below. Let me know if there's anything I can improve or that you guys would like to see me do. Then cool, I would love to hear feedback. Hit the subscribe button as well. I would love to see get followers to start, so I can start seeing some of you guys return. So that way we can all kind of go on this journey together. It'd be nice. Thank you, and have a good evening. Yeah.